What's up guys, my name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going over what I am hoping, theoretically at least, is going to be a very solid starting build for fighting Gogmazios, which is the featured monster for Title Update 4. If you guys know, like I do, you know that it's going to be week 2, Fire and Dragon. Meaning, I am getting builds together in preparation for, that way day 1, when he releases, I can go in and I can fight to my fullest and not have myself necessarily handicapped. So, that being said, today we are going over my Fire and Dragon Dual Blades build. This is very similar to the Ice and Dragon Dual Blades build that I made just last week. However, this one is going to be catered a little more towards some of the comments that I got in that video. There were a couple of you that had said that I had misspoke, and you are absolutely correct. I did misspeak. I did confuse a Sprinter Jewel for Constitution. That's on me. My bad. I should have double-checked before I just uploaded that video, but it's been a long couple weeks. I've been working a lot. My bad. Okay. This is what I am going to be fighting day 1 Gogmazios with, assuming the Switch X build and the Charge Blade build, all the other ones that I'm making, don't pan out, okay? Because Dual Blades is really nice to have that dodge. That dodge is crazy. We love that dodge. If you're a Dual Blades player, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Or a bow player, for that matter, okay? We are going to be rocking Rarity 8 Ardean Dual Blades. And the reason for this is because these Dual Blades are able to get the highest amount of elemental value. When you are playing, especially Dual Blades, you put out so much elemental attack, meaning it is very important that your Dual Blades roll similarly to mine. Ideally, you don't want what I have here on my Fire one. This is okay, but we don't want this. We want a minimum of 3 elemental boosts on our Dual Blades. I am going to keep farming for it, but because I already had this one, I figured I can make this video nonetheless. Ideally, though, this is what you're looking for. 3 attack infusions with 4 elemental boosts and 1 sharpness. This, for me, was the perfect 10 out of 10 roll, and what I believe all of you should be aiming for as well. With the combination of skills that I've got and how I have everything set up, you have a minimum of 480 elemental damage, which may not seem like a lot, but then you need to remember that you're playing on Dual Blades, which hit fast. They are the fastest weapon in the game. Okay, now that we've gone over the weapons, let's take a look at the armor. On our armor, we have New Udra in the helmet, the chest, and the waist. These are all arch-tempered New Udra pieces. And the reason for it is because they have some insanely good skills, insanely good value for what they are. Not only do we get the guts bonus, but we are going to be getting burst at level 5, which is huge for the elemental boost that we're receiving from burst level 5. But on top of that, we are going to be using and proccing it extremely easily on Dual Blades. Not to mention, we have Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is going to be really nice, because Counter-Strike is going to work when you just get hit, but it's also going to work when you take a little bit of chip damage through, say, something like a perfect dodge, and so on and so forth. You don't necessarily always have to get stunned and knocked back to receive the full benefits of Counter-Strike, which means we're going to take advantage of it, okay? Next up, we have Lagiacrus Braces Beta and the Lagiacrus Greaves Beta. The reason for this is because these two are going to give us Azure Bolt. It is another source of damage. It'll just do a little bit. It's another source of affinity. Also just gives us a little bit. But most importantly, the amount of skills that we get from it. You get 3 levels of Weakness Exploit, 2 levels of Stamina Surge, 1 level of Latent Power, which is really nice. Lastly, we have one of my favorite charms, especially for this build for the Gogmazios fight, at least day 1. And that is my Critical Element 3, Speed Eating 3, Golden Age Charm. In the case of this, all you really need is Critical Element. If you can manage getting a Critical Element even 2 in this Golden Age Charm where it's Rarity 8 and has the attack bonus, ideally you just want Critical Element. If you can get Critical Element, perfect. If you can't, alternatives to this would be maxed out Razor Sharp, maxed out Fire or Dragon Attack. In that order. You would definitely want Critical Element first, followed by Razor Sharp or Fire and Dragon. Fire and Dragon are last, and that is because only one of your weapons is going to receive those bonuses. If you were to do it with razor sharp or you're able to do it with critical element, both of your weapons are going to receive all of those bonuses. Way more important that critical element or razor sharp is your talisman over one of the elemental boosts, because we're using Ardean weapons, which have enough of a gem decoration slot to be able to slot in those elemental boosting effects. Okay, now let's get into the decorations. We have here the exact same setup for the dual blades. We have Blaze Handicraft, Razor Handicraft, Attack Jewel. This is Dragon Handicraft, Razor Handicraft, and Attack Jewel. The reason we're going for Handicraft is because Handicraft is really nice on dual blades. You hit a lot, you're going to be losing a ton of sharpness. It's just how the game works. Because dual blades hit so often, you don't get as many hits of, at least it doesn't feel like it. At least for me, it feels like I am burning through my sharpness on dual blades. But you mix that with maxed out Razor Sharp, and now not only do you have more sharpness to use in the white sharpness damage multiplier category, but on top of that, you have a 50% chance not to lose sharpness. You could make the argument that Master's Touch fits in here. The problem with that is if I were to do Master's Touch, I would lose Razor Sharp, and I would lose one level of Handicraft. For me, at least, Razor Sharp is way better at slotting in and working with other skills than Master's Touch is. Master's Touch requires your affinity to stay as high as possible at all times, which is great. The issue with that is that you're not always going to be able to have 1,000 million% affinity. Sometimes you're going to have it lower, which means it's only active some of the time. Granted, this is only a 50% chance, but I would rather have 50% chance out of 100 than I would have, we'll say, 80% chance out of 50. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain, at least. If it doesn't make sense in yours, that's okay. It's just how I work. And then we have our attack jewels. The reason for the attack jewels is because we're not focusing on affinity here. Because we're not focusing on affinity, there's no point really in using critical boost. Critical boost is great, but it's only applicable if you have the affinity to match. If you're not hitting a lot of crits, you're not really seeing the benefits of critical boost. Then we have Sprinter Jewel. Sprinter Jewel is going to be great for Marathon Runner. Marathon Runner is going to be really nice because it is going to slow down the stamina depletion for things that drain stamina, like when I'm in my demon mode. Thank you, YouTube comments last week, for reminding me about this skill, exactly how it works. It's been a while since I've actually played dual blades, and I got this and Constitution mixed up last week. So much appreciated to you guys. Thank you. Much love. I appreciate you guys letting me know and reminding me, hey, don't forget. Much appreciated. Then we have our refresh jewel. The reason for refresh is stamina surge. We already have, thankfully, 2 levels of stamina surge thanks to our armor. This is going to give us the third little portion. Stamina surge is really nice on bow and dual blades, and the reason for it, your stamina comes back to 50% faster. So now, thanks to Marathon Runner, we are losing stamina 50% less. We're reducing it how much it costs 50% of the time, and we're getting it back 50% faster, and making us almost positive on stamina, which is really nice for dual blades, especially when you are taking in to fight a monster you may not have fought yet, like Gogmazios. Okay. Then we have 1-2 levels of Tenderizer. This is going to give us Weakness Exploit level 5. I accidentally took that off. Giving us Weakness Exploit level 5. Thanks to our armor, we also have Burst level 5. We have our Counter Jewel to finish Counter Strike out. And then we are using Divine Protection. The thing with Divine Protection, at least for me, was I'm not sure exactly how the fight's going to go. I don't know if I should expect something like Arch-Tempered New Udra, Uthuna, Raidao, where it's a little easier, everybody can kind of fight for yourselves, because I do play with my friends quite a bit, or if it's going to be a little bit more like Omega, where you kind of need to rely on everybody until you figure it out and everybody kind of locks in. If it is more so like Omega, I would recommend taking this Protection Jewel and instead putting in Recovery Up. This is going to make it easier for everybody to heal you, and who's gonna say no to extra healing? Like, come on, right? And then you have your Attack Jewel. Altogether, this gives us Attack Boost 4, Fire Attack or Dragon Attack, Critical Element maxed out, Razor Sharp maxed out, 2 levels of Handicraft, weakness exploit, giving us 30% of affinity, just so that we're doing a decent amount of crits. A little less than half, but when you're on dual blades, ideally, especially elementally based dual blades, you're not looking to crit. It's not in the wheelhouse because elements don't crit, okay? Counter-Strike for more raw damage, Divine Blessing for a little extra help on the back end, Stamina Surge so that we are not sitting there running around with our head cut off like a chicken, my bad. Marathon Runner to make Demon Mode a little less taxing, and then thankfully for me at least, Speed Eating, which is a huge, wonderful perk. We love that. 1 level of Latent Power, 1 level of Ambush. Latent Power isn't great at level 1, but an additional 10% isn't the worst thing in the world. It's okay. It does help with our stamina depletion when it's active, and then Ambush if we happen to be the one to hit the monster with a successful sneak attack. On top of that, just because I was unsure what was going on, Bad Blood might be usable, and it might be something that I'm able to slot in at a later date, depending. I'm not sure quite yet. This is not currently active because we don't have Resentment on this build, but you never know. It might end up being that Gogmazios has some sort of like fire aura around him, kind of like the Arch-Tempered New Udra and the regular New Udra, where they had like the flame body effect that was do damage to you over time. He might have something like that, which may make Resentment a skill I look into applying, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. This is all speculation. This is kind of all just the things that I am testing, trying to figure out, and I'm trying to help you guys get prepared just as long as myself. You can see here I have the new the new Well Done Stakes as my dual blades, but you can see here damage itself is very, very nice. You can see 85 there, do the full combo. We're heading up to 116. We did 1 Demon Blade Flurry. We hit 3,000, give or take 150, 200. You can see here we do a very solid, respectable amount of damage. We're barely losing any of our stamina, especially because we are doing the Blade Dance Demon Flurry combo together with each other. It is really, really nice, and you are able to pump out a crazy amount of damage. It's really, really important that if you guys are rolling for Ardean weapons right now, you guys make sure to roll for weapons that have high elemental stats, because of how much they are weighting towards that in the most recent updates and going forward. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.